The 17th Africa Leather Value Chain Annual Forum, organized by the Africa Leather and Leather Products Institute, is underway in Kigali from December 9th to 12th, 2024, with a theme focused on fostering a resilient and inclusive future for Africa's leather industry. The forum is bringing together over 200 participants to discuss strategies for aligning the sector with sustainable practices and enhancing its global competitiveness. Nicholas Mudungwe, Executive Director of ALLPI, emphasized the event's significance.
The leather value chain is a very important value chain globally. It is valued at $420 billion. And the main source or the main raw material is hides and skins from bovine, goats and sheep. And when you look at Africa, it has a potential of 20%. However, when you look at the value that Africa is generating from this value chain, is below 5% of the 420 billion. There are a lot of losses of the skins in the villages, and the other losses that most skins are exported in raw state to Asia and other European countries. So our mandate as Africa Leather Products Institute is to build the capacity of the value chain so that people can start to utilize all the skins. It's also to promote the development of policies that promotes the value addition. And this is a long value chain because when you look at it, the leather sector starts from the slaughter point, collection of hides and skins, tanning, that is processing into finished leather, then making of leather products, shoes, upholstery and so forth. So it has a potential to create many jobs for Africa directly and indirectly. But we are missing that. When you look at numbers, we have a loss of almost plus 50 billion because we are losing skins and we are also exporting them in raw state. So our mandate, working with member states, working with the private sector, is to be able to stimulate this growth. So the forum that we are holding tomorrow, starting tomorrow, we are looking at a number of issues that would assist us to stimulate growth of the sector. We are looking at issues of sustainability. There's a talk that leather is dead, but in our view, leather is not dead. Because assume if there was no leather sector and all the animals that were slaughtered, the skins were all over scattered, it would be more disastrous. So we are looking at sustainability, resource optimization. And when you buy a leather shoe, you can use it for more than 10 years. So the element of longevity helps to reduce carbon production. Yet when you depend on synthetics, with a shoe of 6 months, you dump it, you buy another one. So there's more carbon emission and therefore climate change. So to us, leather is more cleaner because of longevity and also because it is based on this concept of circularity. This is one major part of the discussion. What we've observed is that for tanneries to make money, they have to process a certain number of skins to finish the leather so that they can sell that in Africa. But what we've seen is that because of low demand of finished leather, it doesn't make economic sense for them to process a lot of skins. So as part of the discussions of tomorrow, we are saying, how can we use government procurement to stimulate demand of leather products? If you look at governments across the world, they have soldiers, they have the police, Ministry of Health. All those shoes should be made in Africa. And other countries have started to do the same, and their leather sectors are responding. So we have a dedicated session to say, how can we use government procurement to stimulate the growth of the sector? And that is partnered with the standards. Because we are saying the shoe that should be made by these enterprises should meet the minimum standard, so that when the soldier, the police is working, is comfortable. So we are looking at it as a way to stimulate the turning of the leather industry. And that panel will be having people from the procurement authority, people from the leather sector, and other government departments. So for me, seeing is believing. If you look at our governments, in economics we say government play a paternalistic role. It's like a father. So if our government start to buy police and military shoes from products made here, it's a good indicator, and it gives confidence to the people that the products made in Africa are good products because they meet the minimum standard of the military, minimum standard of the police, minimum standard of the Ministry of Health. And I can assure you, we are in a partnership right now with a mine in Zambia called Kongola Copper Mine. We have signed an agreement with them, and they are financing a group of SMEs to produce industrial gloves that will be used in their mine. So we will always work with private sector, and we will always work with the standard bureaus to make sure that the product coming from these SMEs meet the minimum requirements. Even for me, my shoe that I'm wearing now is made in Ethiopia. My belt is made in Kenya. My laptop bag is made in Kenya. So these products are comfortable. Like the shoe in Kenya, I can even play football with it, but it's a formal shoe. So the issue is we can change that mindset through collaboration, through this kind of discussions. Because in the past, people have been shying away from the media, but the media is very critical to bring this message to the people. So we are also running a product design and development capacity building, where we are training our artisans to design products that can compete with the rest of the world. We are working on that with the Leather and Hides Council of America under a program called Real Leather Stay Different. Because when you have a leather product, it will just be genuine until to the end. So the message through the media, the message through the government, the message through the platforms like the one that we are having. And we are saying Africa is school children. Why should school children in Africa import shoes? Why should they walk barefooted when we can even produce comfortable sandals for hot environments, or we can make good shoes for them here? So we are confident through the partnership, government, private sector, development partners, and you, the media, will be able to bring the message home. The finance becomes expensive also depending on the business model that industrialists adopt. What we've seen in other countries, they've gone through clustering, where one enterprise is involved in collection of skins, the other one is involved in producing wet blue, then it passes to the next for finishing. So we think sharing of responsibilities in terms of segmenting the value chain can create and reduce the cost of finance. We have seen this working in India. And in Africa, we have introduced cluster concept, where we are aggregating either SMEs to operate under one roof with shared equipment. We have bought equipment in different countries through the sponsorship of EU and sponsorship of Badia. Like here in Kigali, we bought equipment which is at Masaka, which can then be utilized by the SMEs. But on finance, we are saying development banks in Africa, like some of them that I've mentioned, we are working with them to come up with finance that is suitable for the value chain.